Angulangayate Girim Shri Guru Dinatharinam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So 25th December 2024, we continue reading Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita, fifth shower, consideration of Baba Bhakti. Third stream, Jnana Vichara. There are 5 types of knowledge. In relation to the analysis of knowledge, some may wish to know as to what is the endeavor of the persons who have awakened Baba. Before the awakening of Baba, during the practice of Vaidhi Bhakti, a person gains a certain understanding of all Vedantic truths in the scriptures of the Lord, and the misfortunes caused by ignorance has been removed. Once the Baba awakens, the devotee no longer engages in the discussions of other aspects of knowledge, being absorbed in the taste of 5 types of knowledge are as follows, pardon. Being absorbed in the taste of, and then it's another sentence, 5 types of knowledge as follows.
So, when you're in the stage of Vaidhi Bhakti, everything is a bit theoretical.
So when we are at the stage of Vaidhi Bhakti, everything is a little bit theoretical.
When you awaken your Baba, and you actually feel ecstatic love for Krishna.
But when you are awakening your Baba, you actually feel ecstatic love for Krishna.
And so that's very practical.
So that's very practical.
Chaitanya no longer so much interested in the theoretical knowledge.
So they are not any more longer enthusiastic in the theoretical knowledge.
We want to discuss the pastimes of the Lord.
We want to discuss the pastimes of the Lord.
We want to taste the different types of transcendental knowledge of the Lord.
We want to taste the different types of transcendental knowledge about the Lord. So there are one second. I was fixing the text. Yeah. Okay, there are 5 types of knowledge. Indriya, Artha, Jnana. Knowledge of the sense and their objects. Acquiring knowledge is possible for every living entity with senses. External objects perceived by these senses are conveyed to the brain through the nervous systems. The mind, acting as the internal sense, processes these perceptions in several stages. We go to first stage that the brain processes. It brings external perceptions. It brings external perceptions to the mind. Second stage, it stores these perceptions as memory. And the third stage, it combines or separates these perceptions to form imaginations or conceptualizations. The fourth stage, it classifies these perceptions, reduces them to simpler forms in small numbers, or redivide them to increase complexity in large numbers. Fifth stage, one second. We're fixing the. It extracts logical meanings from the combined perceptions, known as reasoning or logic. Reasoning is used to determine what is to be done or not to be done. All mental and material science are discovered through reasoning. Material science include various fields such as science of matter and motion, magnetism, electricity, medicine, brackets Ayurveda, philosophy, sorry, physiology, optics, music, and mental philosophy. Scientific knowledge of substances and their properties led to the development of various arts and craft manufactures. Science and art assist each other in performing significant greater tasks such as railways, electrical communication, telegraphs, in brackets, ships, and architecture, temple and house constructions. All these are part of sensory knowledge and the activities inspired by it. Geography, chronology, astronomy, zoology, mineralogy, and surgery are all part of Indriya, Artha, Gyan, sensory knowledge. Those who are engrossed in this knowledge refer to it as a positive knowledge. However, human nature does not remain confined to sensory knowledge alone and seeks higher knowledge.
So, different stages of sensory knowledge.
So there are different stages of sense objects.
And so as one goes through the different stages, they get a realization of the material world.
So one is when one is close to different stages, they get a realization of the material world.
But it doesn't give any direct idea of the spiritual existence.
But it doesn't really give you a great idea about the spiritual existence.
All these things, uh, different material sciences and achievements are mentioned here.
All these different material science and achievements are mentioned here.
But it's all a material platform.
But they are all in the material platform.
The science of medicine is also material.
The science of medicine, it is also material.
The architecture is material.
The architecture is also material.
All these things are due to the perception of the senses.
All these things are through the perception of the senses.
Normally, that would be about it. We wouldn't go any further than that.
Normally, everybody will not go any more farther than that.
But Krishna gives us the ability to go further
But Krishna offers us the ability to go further
and understand what lies beyond the ordinary perception of the senses.
and to understand what goes beyond the ordinary perception of the senses.
Here, Bhakti Thakur, he's giving a detail of the perceptions of the senses.
Here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving us an understanding of the perception of the senses.
So, we need to understand this and go on.
So we need this, we need to understand this to go on. All right.
I-
There is a verse, a note that says, desiring pleasure, the embodied souls look outwards through the openings of the senses, just like someone inside the house looks outside through the windows. They perceive only the external objects and do not understand the true essence. Therefore, the seeker of the highest truth should abandon worldly desires and distractions, aiming for the supreme goal with a focused mind free from impurities. Just like someone inside a house look outside through the windows, they perceive only the external objects and do not understand the true essence. Therefore, the seeker of the highest truth should abandon worldly desires and distractions, aiming for the supreme goal with a focused mind free from impurities.
So there's actually something very important,
So, there is actually something very important.
but if they're only seeing objects of the senses or limited.
But if they only see the objects of the senses, then it is limited.
So seeking for understanding what the real essence of life is.
So seeking to understand it was the really essence of the word is.
We look for understanding that.
So we look for understanding that. All right. Um, there. So there are two types of tendencies of karma. Two types. Experience of result of knowledge, jnana, phala, anubhava. This is point number 4. There are some points to be discussed in the context of evaluating the experience of results of knowledge, jnana, phala, anubhava. Suddha jnana, pure knowledge, results is in love. So it results will not be considered here. The results of 4 type of knowledge, indriyartha jnana, sensory knowledge, Naitika Jnana, ethical knowledge, Ishvara Jnana, knowledge of the Supreme Lord, Brahma Jnana, knowledge of Brahman, Suddha Jnana, pure knowledge, will be evaluated among these. Sensory knowledge and ethical knowledge have been extensively discussed here. The focus will be on evaluating the fruits of knowledge of God and knowledge of Brahman. It has already been stated that from the knowledge of God, the duty of karma is ascertained. There are two types of tendencies in actions. One tendency is by making the soul undergo the fruits of the actions and bring the soul under karma and to engage in karma. Another tendency is to achieve peace by satisfying God. The first tendency has already been examined. The second tendency, gradually, promise to provide progress to the soul through actions derived from knowledge of God, but eventually becomes unable to do so itself. The Astanga Yoga scriptures assure that if the mind is controlled through devotion to God, those very actions will ultimately lead to liberation. Kaivalya. Should I continue with the note? Note. Okay. The two actions.
So on this book, God, Brahman, take one to the stage of liberation.
So the knowledge about God and Brahman take us to the stage of liberation.
And so here is recommended
So here it is recommended
one try for higher knowledge.
that one should try for the higher knowledge,
Knowledge about God, about Brahman,
the knowledge about God, about Brahman.
so those who have this knowledge are considered very special.
So those who have this knowledge are considered very special.
What Krishna says that out of millions of people who have knowledge of Brahman,
But Krishna says that out of millions of people who has knowledge of Brahman,
it's rare to find someone who knows about the personality of it.
so it's very rare to find somebody who actually knows about Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
And out of millions of people who know about Krishna,
And out of millions of people who knows about Krishna,
one who actually has pure devotion for Krishna is even more rare.
and out of these millions of people, the one who actually has pure devotion and love for Krishna is actually even more rare. So we continue note, Srimad Bhagavatam 1:6-35. It is true that by practicing restraint of the senses by the yoga system, one can get relief from the disturbances of desire and lust. But this is not sufficient to give satisfaction to the soul, for this satisfaction is derived from devotional service to the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 12:348. By once engaging in the process of demigod worship, austerities, breath control, compassion, bathing in holy places, strict vows, charity, and chanting of various mantras, one's mind cannot attain the same absolute purification as that achieved when the ultimate personality of Godhead appears within one's heart.
Hello.
Haribo.
So I offer my obeisances to the Super Soul,
So I offer my obeisances to the Super Soul,
who is present in all your hearts
who is present in all your hearts
and is guiding you through this material world.
and He's guiding you through this material world.
So if you take the guidance of the Super Soul to understand Bhakti Yoga,
So if you take the guidance of the Super Soul to understand Bhakti Yoga,
then you can achieve this special grace of God.
then you can achieve this special grace of God. Continue. It seems false when one sees the form of that liberation, Kaivalya. In the Patanjali scriptures, it is first stated that we call one who is untouched by afflictions, actions, consequences, and impressions as God, Ishvara. That God is in the form of Kevala, alone, isolated, isolation of Purusha from Prakriti and liberation from rebirth and moksha. the soul also gradually attains that kaivalya through yoga. Well, after attaining kaivalya, what relationship do many souls have with each other? And does sorry, what does that God, whom I had heard about, now do with me? The Ashtanga Yoga scriptures do not answer these questions. So what am I to understand? Should I conclude that God is a mere imagine a special person? Is he only needed during the period of practice, and after that there will be no more meeting with him?
So, Chaitanya Thakur is taking you through different practices of yoga.
So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is taking you through different practices of yoga.
Yana yoga,
Jnana Yoga,
Ashtanga yoga,
Ashtanga Yoga,
finally the Bhakti yoga.
and finally the Bhakti Yoga.
But in this Ashtanga yoga,
But in this Ashtanga Yoga,
you reach the top position
you can reach the top position,
of Ashtanga yoga. You still don't feel fully satisfied.
but you can reach a higher position of Ashtanga Yoga, but you will still will not feel satisfied.
So, Chaitanya Thakur is taking you through each of the yoga systems
So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is taking you to each of the yoga systems
in a very practical way.
in a very practical way. Kaivalya. Then, if those beings who attain Kaivalya are many, then how can it be Kaivalya alone isolated? That's the question he raised. If it is concluded that Ishvara, God, is a special state in which all beings dissolve, then this becomes Ishvara Sajuya Bada. If one says, what is the problem in it? Then it becomes merely another name for the Advaita, non-dualistic philosophy. Why is there a need to propagate one philosophy under two names? The result of yoga as it powers vibhuti are transitory, is to be disregarded in the same way that the ultimate result, kaivalya, is to be disregarded as contrary to devotion, bhakti. Although the promise of yoga sounds good, the result is very insignificant. Many scriptures describe the fruits of knowledge of God as three types of liberation: salokya, sarsti, and samipya. These type of liberations are not the real fruits, because by which service to God happens ultimately. Some scriptures mention these liberations as gateways to service.
So, Chaitanya Thakur is describing these roots that the original truth Advaita thought may be discussed by different name.
So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is describing these different fruits that the philosophy, the impersonal philosophy of Advaita Vada may be discussed with different names,
But it's the same thing.
but it's the same thing.
One, a Sayuja Bhakti, a Sayuja Mukti is not accepted by any devotee.
So the Sayuja Bhakti, the Sayuja Mukti is not accepted by any devotee.
Saloka Sarsti Samitya,
Saloka Sharsti Samipya.
may sometimes be accepted if they include service to Krishna.
They may be sometimes accepted if they give some service to Krishna.
So the service to Krishna, the Supreme Godhead, is actually the thing that people, if they get, they'll be satisfied.
So actually, the service to Krishna is the ultimate thing that when people get, they are satisfied.
And from again, Advaita Lord, they are discussing the impersonal effulgence of Lord Krishna.
And Brahma Gyan, Advaita Gyan, Tatvada, they are just discussing the impersonal effulgence of Krishna. So we continue with next, Brahma Gyana. If Ishvara Gyana nourish devotion to Krishna, then the form of Ishvara Gyana quickly transforms into pure knowledge. Then the purpose of Ishvara Gyan is fulfilled. It has been previously stated that Ishvara Gyana, when misguided, transforms into Brahma Gyana. The result of Brahma Gyana, which is the merging, Sajuja, or liberation, Nirvana, is very inferior. By establishing a non-differentiated principle, one Brahman is established. When we speak of non-differentiated principle, it is understood to mean that whatever types of existence there can be, the principle opposite to them is the non-differentiated Brahman. Let me repeat. We go a little. The result of Brahmagyana, which is the merging of Sajuya or liberation Nirvana, is very inferior. By establishing a non-differentiated principle, one Brahman is established. When we speak of a non-differentiated principle, it is understood to mean that whatever type of existence there can be, the principle opposite to them, it is the non-differentiated Brahman.
So Krishna is Satchidananda.
So Krishna is Satchidananda.
He is transcendental.
He's transcendental.
His activities are transcendental.
His activities are transcendental.
Everything about him is transcendental.
Everything about him is transcendental.
But someone wants a Advaita Lord. That's the opposite of Krishna.
But if somebody wants Advaitavada, that's the opposite of Krishna.
Although
Although
Advaita is the effulgence of Krishna,
Advaita is the effulgence of Krishna,
it has no activities, no form, no anything.
if there is no activities, no form, not anything,
Then one merges into that Brahman effulgence.
so one merged in the effulgence.
So for the devotees,
So for the devotees,
this is like hell.
this is like hell.
Do not have any contact with Krishna.
It doesn't have any contact with Krishna.
And I think in the one of the books, the thing, the soul is crossing the Brahma Jyoti to the Vaikuntha Lokas.
So in one of the book it is mentioned when the soul is crossing the Brahma Jyoti through to the Vaikuntha Lokas,
And he starts to merge the Brahma Jyoti.
then it start to merge in the Brahma Jyoti.
Ah!
Ah!
Oh!
Oh! Govinda!
Krishna!
Krishna!
Here he goes. Vaikuntha Loka.
Then he goes to Vaikuntha Loka.
Safe. Wow.
Nitai Gaura Brahmanande! Safe. So again, if Ishvara Jnana nourishes devotion to Krishna, then the form of Ishvara Jnana quickly transforms into pure knowledge. Go ahead, all the way down. We read all this. Nirvana, the simple name for the principle opposite to existence. So the principle opposite to existence is called astitva. Is non-existence, nastitva. The term nirvana signifies non-existence.
See, astitva is existence.
Astitva is existence,
Astitva is non-existence.
and nastitva is not existent. The term nirvana signifies non-existence. Therefore, saying Brahma Sajuya, unity with Brahman, means understanding nirvana or non-existence. When it is said that a jiva attains Brahma Sajuya, it means that the jiva is doomed. Can this be called gain? Should one strive for such a result? The consequence that Kamsa and Shishupala achieved through the extreme enmity towards the Lord, can this be sought by the virtuous people? Therefore, the fruit of knowledge is very insignificant. In Nirvana, talking about Nirvana.
So, demons, when they're killed, they achieve Sahaja-mukti.
So demons, when they're killed, they achieve Sajuya Mukti.
They merge into the Brahma Jyoti.
They merge into the Brahma Jyoti.
So this kind of liberation is achieved by demons.
So this kind of liberation is achieved by demons.
So should devotees want this?
So should devotees want this? Govinda!
How do the devotees cry out on Krishna's name or Govinda's name to avoid it?
Rather, the devotee should chant Krishna's name, so Govinda's name to avoid it.
Haribol.
Haribol. Note. There is a note about this. So, in the Prachina Bhakti, sorry, 1 minute. Note. The result of knowledge is inauspicious. On the other hand, those who consider reasons as knowledge should also know that the result of such knowledge is utterly ineffective. We have previously shown that reason is incapable of going beyond the material world when we speak about the arts and the science. If it ever attempts to do so, it only operates within the Lakshana Vritti, indirect meaning, thereby yielding no results in the pursuit of transcendental truth beyond material world.
So this shows how material science cannot lead one to spiritual knowledge.
So this shows how material science cannot lead one to spiritual knowledge.
It's limited within the material world.
It is limited within the material world.
And so we're trying to show all this in the Science Museum of the Vedic Planetarium.
So we're trying to show this in the Science Museum of the Vedic Planetarium.
That to actually understand the spiritual existence, one needs a special tools.
That to actually understand the spiritual existence, one actually needs special tools. So there is a beautiful verse. Yeah. No, down. Yes. Note. Prachina Bhakyam, quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:145 to 46. If one has even a little taste for bhakti,
Oh,
he can understand the truth about it.
oh,
But if one tries to understand bhakti by dry logic, he cannot understand it because logic is inconclusive. Anyway, for persons who have a natural taste for understanding books like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, devotional service is easier than for those who are simply accustomed to mental speculations and argumentative processes. A person more proficient at logic can bring about a conclusion different from what was carefully proven previously by another skillful logician.
so Lord, there's a quote by Lord Chaitanya, Tarko Mahadur.
So there is a quote by Lord Chaitanya Tarko Mahadur.
Tarko means logic.
Tarko means logic.
By logic takes us our way from Bhakti Yoga.
That logic takes you far away from Bhakti Yoga.
So we want the devotees to see the Bhakti Yoga is very easy to perform.
So we want the devotees to know that Bhakti Yoga is very easy to perform.
And it purifies mind and senses.
And it purifies the mind and senses.
So Bhakti Yoga also brings you closer to Krishna.
So Bhakti Yoga also brings you closer to Krishna.
And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's bringing us the Bhakti systematic route.
So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is leading us through Bhakti systematically. Is 8:20? You want to continue or you want to?
Oh, it's 2020.
2020, 10 minutes more. Do you want to continue?
Maybe they have some questions.
Okay, maybe you have some questions and then we close. Okay, there is one question here. You have
You
some.
want to merge?
Do you want to merge?
Very good.
Very good. Okay, she can speak. You can hear. Yeah. He was debating through logic. We hear that in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. We hear that in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes when he was trying to spread Krishna consciousness. So sometimes he was debating and using logic. Earlier, before, sorry, we heard in the life of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that before he was engaged on debating and logic. But later on, when he spread the movement of Sri Chaitanya Sankirtan movement, then and Bhakti, he was not debating.
What's the question?
Asking why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the early life he was doing the logic.
Why Lord Chaitanya in the early life was doing logic?
Say he started out as my pundit,
So you see, he started out as Nimai Pandit,
and he would defeat other students in logic.
and he defeat other students in logic.
But
But
when he went to Gaya,
when he went to Gaya,
he got initiated by Ishwar Puri.
he got initiated by Ishwara Puri.
And
Then
he was absorbed in natural bhakti.
then he was absorbed in natural bhakti.
Came back,
When he came back,
he called everybody
he called everybody
to one brahmacharya. We have like 500, one or two brahmacharyas.
So it was one or two brahmacharis with Nimai Pandit.
So one brahmacharya, what was his name?
What was the name of Suklambar?
Sudabar brahmacharya.
Suklambar Brahmachari.
So there,
There
he glorified
he glorified
Gadadhar.
Gadadhar.
He said since birth he has been a devotee.
He took, sorry,
Since birth,
birth he was a devotee.
I've wasted my life.
I wasted my life.
I was a pandit.
I was a pandit.
So now
So now
I see that
I see that
bhakti is the
bhakti
most important thing.
is the most important thing.
So Lord Chaitanya
So Lord Chaitanya,
established
He's-
himself
he established himself
first as the greatest logician.
first as the Vedic logician,
He
greatest
was,
logician, sorry.
and, then
And then
in that case of Kajari, and he memorized all the slokas that Keshav had been said.
So then, one time in the Ganges, he memorized all the slokas that Keshava Bharati was reciting. It's okay. In Kashmir.
57, 59 verse.
57 or 59 verses.
What are the guna? What are the good qualities?
What are the gunas? What are the good qualities?
What are the mistakes?
And all these aspects. Mistakes.
So Keshav Kashmiri said, I know mistakes.
So Keshava Kashmir said there is no mistakes.
And Lord Chaitanya pointed out 6 or 8 mistakes.
And Lord Chaitanya pointed out 6 to 8 mistakes.
First, pointed out good qualities.
But first he pointed out good qualities.
He pointed out bad qualities.
But then he pointed out the bad qualities.
So, the case of Gandhini prayed to Saraswati, the goddess of learning, why did you allow this boy to defeat me?
So Keshava Kashmir prays to the goddess Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Why did you allow this boy to defeat me?
And she told him, I cannot defend you against him.
And he told him, I cannot defend you against him.
He's my husband.
He's my husband.
Her husband was Krishna.
Her husband was Vishnu.
So,
So
uh, Krishna and his Leelas, Gauranga,
so Krishna Leelas is Gauranga.
he spent some years at Nilai Pandit,
He spent some years as Nimai Pandit.
and when he came back from Gaya,
Then when he came back from Gaya,
he was a devotee.
he was a devotee.
That's his Leela.
That's his Leela. Haribo.
They'll eat all this.
Guru Maharaj, some sweets for all of you. Anna, you want to bless them? Blessings to all the devotees. All
Astu.
Krishner Matirastu. Guru Maharaj ki. Excellent. Dear fortunate devotees, for those who are physically present here, to the left of you near the gate, there's a physical book table, which is Guru Maharaj's personal physical book table. And that's meant for only for those who are present physically on this Transcendental Lotus rooftop and nobody else in the universe. See your facility. Yeah? So please do visit and see in what way you can assist Guru Maharaj in fulfilling the instruction of Srila Prabhupada regarding book distribution. As Srila Prabhupada ordered him to distribute 10,000 Mahabig books and 100,000 small books every month as a monthly contribution. So if you can sponsor one Bhagavad Gita and 10 small books as a 1:10 ratio. So please do that on the physical book table. And today we have very long list, so I'll try to chant all the names, otherwise maybe 50% today and 50% tomorrow. In Kumbh Mela 2025, the book distribution by Vrajalila Gaurangi Devidasi, Midnapur. We have Bikash Patra 51 Bhagavad Gita, Kamala Jhanav 31 Bhagavad Gita, Seethal Maiti 21 Bhagavad Gita, Anil Kumar Manna 21 Bhagavad Gita, Badal Maiti 12 Bhagavad Gita, Arnab Kumar Misra 11 Bhagavad Gita, Raj Kumar Chaudhary 11 Bhagavad Gita, Parul Konar 10 Bhagavad Gita, Aparna Patra 5 Bhagavad Gita, Bipasha Patra 5 Bhagavad Gita, Kalpataru Rohini Devidasi 5 Bhagavad Gita, Vrajalila Gaurangi Devidasi 5 Bhagavad Gita, Satodru Hazra 5 Bhagavad Gita, Manosvita Hazra 5 Bhagavad Gita, Anushya Devahuti Devi Devasi 2 Bhagavad Gita, Bijala Bhunia 2 Bhagavad Gita, Sayantam Dalbara 2 Bhagavad Gita, Tustatma Jagannath Das 2 Bhagavad Gita, Gurupada Ghantait 2 Bhagavad Gita, Khaveri Ghantait 2 Bhagavad Gita, Deepa Palak Vrajesh Das 1 Bhagavad Gita, Rati Rupa Haripriya Devidasi 1 Bhagavad Gita, Srijani Adhikari 1 Bhagavad Gita, Radharani Adhikari 1 Bhagavad Gita, Biba Bhakti Ghosh 1 Bhagavad Gita, Radhika Kripavati Devidasi 1 Bhagavad Gita, Falguni Bhunya, Ruma Bhunya, Agnideep Bhunya, each 1 Bhagavad Gita, Sauvik Mahata 1 Bhagavad Gita, Arnab Loha, Arnava Ghosh, Priyanka Roy, Saumitra Pani, Joy Shantra, Malancha Sau, Nilanchan Ghosh, Atin Kumar Ghosh, each 1 Bhagavad Gita. Then we have Sinchan Bibar, Sayan Nandi, Balaram Pal, Prasenjit Dev, Payal Dev, Neha Dev, Kakali Ghosh. Purnima Ghosh, Gopal Ghosh, Ananta Ghosh, Gayatri Ghosh, Mandira Mandal, Manotosh Mandal, Jiban Mandal, each one Bhagavad Gita. And we have Anjali Mandal, Jaba Ghosh, Panchajanya Pal, Surajit Das, Pinku Das, Shobhan Mananta Gita, Pon Mananta, one Bhagavad Gita. We have Tirtharaj Karmakar, one Bhagavad Gita, Rishiraj Karmakar, one Bhagavad Gita, Ananta Chaudhary, one Bhagavad Gita, Tumpa Chaudhary, one Bhagavad Gita, Aditi Chaudhary, one Bhagavad Gita, Ankit Prasad Chaudhary, one Bhagavad Gita. We have Purnima Rai, one Bhagavad Gita, Sajal Rai, one Bhagavad Gita, Gopal Rai, one Bhagavad Gita, Abar Rai, one Bhagavad Gita, Gokandas, one Bhagavad Gita, Muktipada Das, one Bhagavad Gita, Surajit Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Saumyati Patra, one Bhagavad Gita, Sanjogita Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Sushanta Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Jayasri Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Parthasarathi Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Kalyani Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Kalyani Bhera, one Bhagavad Gita, Siddha Jaya Jyoti Singha, one Bhagavad Gita, Bapi Singha, one Bhagavad Gita, Barnel Singha, one Bhagavad Gita, Rachayata Singha, one Bhagavad Gita, Saumen Parmanik, one Bhagavad Gita, Rintu Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Sudipta Ari, one Bhagavad Gita, Ajay Karmakar, one Bhagavad Gita, Santana Karmakar, one Bhagavad Gita, Preeti Karmakar, one Bhagavad Gita, Shruti Karmakar, one Bhagavad Gita, Shankar Ghosh, Alok Ghosh, Sumitra Haldar, Asit Das, Maina Das, Madhu Das, Mandira Das, Raj Kamal Ghosh, Neel Kamal Ghosh, and Durgapada Ghosh, each one Bhagavad Gita. Then we have Kalpana Ghosh, Atashi Bhunia, Monik Sor, Seikat Ghain, Subir Sarkar, Sheuli Ghosh, Suman Das, Sudarshan Maiti, Sri Devkumar Manna, each one Bhagavad Gita. Then we have Sri Narayan Das, Habir Bhunia, Tapas Kumar, Gantait, one Bhagavad Gita each. We have Mita Gantait, Trishta Gantait, Tirtharaj Gantait, each one Bhagavad Gita. We have Pratima Goswami, one Bhagavad Gita, Lakshmi Maiti, Vishal Bhakat, Arjit Adya, Abantika Adya, Trisha Chakrabarti, one Bhagavad Gita each. Subhara Shankar Chakrabarti, one Bhagavad Gita. Abhinav Das, one Bhagavad Gita, Anup Das, one Bhagavad Gita, Anil Kumar, one Bhagavad Gita, Meena Devi, one Bhagavad Gita, Rajat Kanti Karan, one Bhagavad Gita, Nayan Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Abhinandan Bhattacharya, one Bhagavad Gita, Dilip Sahu, one Bhagavad Gita, Deepak Kumar, one Bhagavad Gita, Sudevi Manjari Devidasi, one Bhagavad Gita, Kumudilini, Yasada Devidasi, one Bhagavad Gita, Nityananda Priyadas, one Bhagavad Gita, Tapas Pandit, one Bhagavad Gita, Ishani Pandit, one Bhagavad Gita, Aishiki Pandit, one Bhagavad Gita, Gopal Bhag, one Bhagavad Gita, Kajal Bhag, one Bhagavad Gita, Ananya Bhag, one Bhagavad Gita, Sutapa Bhag, one Bhagavad Gita, Sayandipta Das, one Bhagavad Gita, Mona Lisa Karak, one Bhagavad Gita, His Holiness Jayapada Swami Guru Maharaj's name, somebody sponsored one Bhagavad Gita, Balaram Nitya Chand Das, one Bhagavad Gita, Archana Harishevini Devidasi, one Bhagavad Gita, Ananda Vilas Haridas, one Bhagavad Gita, Madhavikanta Lakshmi Devidasi, one Bhagavad Gita, Tulasi Keshavi Devidasi, one Bhagavad Gita, Prabhit Chakrabarti, one Bhagavad Gita, Anirban Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Sujit Kohli, one Bhagavad Gita, Aparna Kohli, one Bhagavad Gita, Sudipta Kohli, one Bhagavad Gita, Khanai Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Badal Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Apurba Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita, Mala Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Deepali Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Maumita Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Rohan Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Purnendu Mullik, one Bhagavad Gita, Brishta Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Kakali Pera, one Bhagavad Gita, Shaktipada Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Alpana Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Ashish Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktipada Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Dharna Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Jai Krishna Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Bamdana Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Arduna Bera, one Bhagavad Gita, Soma Bera, one Bhagavad Gita, Anushka Bera, one Bhagavad Gita, Swarup Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Jhuma Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Rik Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Ganesh Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Rima Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Arnab Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Shreya Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Srija Ghosh, Arun Mandal, Ashok Ghosh, Asit Ghosh, each one Bhagavad Gita, Chandana Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Anushka Ghosh, Anuran Ghosh, Papu Mandal, Raima Das, Saikat Das, Deepak Ghosh, Rina Ghosh, Amrita Ghosh, Narayan Ghosh, Dilip Ghosh, each one Bhagavad Gita. Aparna Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Disha Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Anushman Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Rabilochan Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Ashim Malik, one Bhagavad Gita, Mamani Malik, Rideep Ghosh, Sarati Phalam, Surajit Phalan, Anukul Phalam, Trisha Phalan, Tulu Phalan, each one Bhagavad Gita. Sayan Singh, one Bhagavad Gita, Vishwanath Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita, Kakali Ghosh, Kashinath Ghosh, Krishna Ghosh, Suman Ghosh, Sujan Ghosh, Bijan Ghosh, each one Bhagavad Gita. Shankar Patra, Hirak Patra, Ruma Patra, Raunak Patra, each one Bhagavad Gita. Durlabh Kapri, one Bhagavad Gita, Pulti Kapri, one Bhagavad Gita, Ankita Kapri, Pritika Kapri, each one Bhagavad Gita. Bubai Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Rupam Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Late Ramakrishna Mandal, one Bhagavad Gita. Late Sri Krishna Mandal, late Nirmal Mandal, late Prabhati Mandal, late Nabhakumar Ghosh, each one Bhagavad Gita. Late Lalita Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Late Brajabala Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Late Romapada Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Late Sabdiri Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Nandalal Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Ranjit Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Manoranjan Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Malati Ghosh, one Bhagavad Gita. Supriya Parmanik, one Bhagavad Gita. Mamata Mukherjee, one Bhagavad Gita. Ajit Nayak, Madhukulya, three Bhagavad Gitas. Ashalata Naik, 3 Bhagavad Gita. Abhishek Samanta, 2 Bhagavad Gita. Tritapati Haridas, 2 Bhagavad Gita. Aditi Bhakti Devidasi, 2 Bhagavad Gita. Ritvik Rai, Devjit Pal, each 1 Bhagavad Gita. Subhashini Pal, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Saurak Naik, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Buddhadev Ghosh, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Akshay Sardar, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Deepak Kumar Chaudhary, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Kuldeep Ghosh, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Kalyani Patra, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Shepali Falan, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Duryodhan Chaudhary, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Late Meenati Chaudhary, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Pradeep Chaudhary, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Ashralata Ghosh, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Mani Mala Patra, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Madhuri Parmanik, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Late Niti Mandal, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Ashim Rai, Anvesh Rai, Ashima Rai, Ayan Rai, each 1 Bhagavad Gita. Nimai Jana, Jharna Jana, Ramen Jana, each 1 Bhagavad Gita. Prashanejit Maji, Urmila Dhey Maji, each 1 Bhagavad Gita. Rekha Rani Ghosh, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Late Aduri Rani Ghosh, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Sandeep Chaudhary, Subhamai Chaudhary, each 1 Bhagavad Gita. Shika Fauzdar, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Chandrasekhar Patra, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Adrij Patra, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Ankit Ghosh, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Rupsa Kohli, 1 Bhagavad Gita. Late Kalpana Patra, 284. Suchitra Priyarani Devidasi, 5 Bhagavad Gita. From physical book table, we have Nitya Madhavi Mataji's Priyam Gada Gaurangi Devidasi, every month 2 Gitas and 5 small books. It's a monthly contribution she is giving. And we have Suvanokar Das, 10 Bhagavad Gita. We have our Nitya Sevites, Balachandra Senna, Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi, Balavanda, 4 small book. From Kasa Desh, we have Damini Mataji and her family, 1 Bhagavad Gita and 10 small book. Exactly 1:10 ratio, as how Srila Guru Maharaj want, as per the direction or instruction by Srila Prabhupada. Of course, Guru Maharaj needs a monthly contribution in 1:10 ratio, and Damini Mataji and her family is giving 1:10 ratio as a daily contribution. Thank you very much, Damini Mataji and family, for being a role model and encouraging all of us in this regard. Li Tang Jion, 3 Bhagavad Gitas and 6 small book. Fu Gang, 5 Bhagavad Gita. Fu Si Rui, 5 Bhagavad Gita. Yu Jinbo, 5 Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental book distribution ki jai. All these devotees getting a special Narasimha Puja in a few hours from now in Sridham Mayapur. All of you also please bless them by calling out Nitai Gauranga with me. Nitai Gauranga. And please pass on this wonderful information of participating in Srila Guru Maharaj pastime and distributing Srila Prabhupada books. Even with a single Bhagavad Gita and 10 small books, please do WhatsApp anytime in Guru Maharaj virtual book table at +91 94 34 76 04 02. Stay tuned for tomorrow's Lord Chaitanya class, and let's do an intense prayer for Guru Maharaj's speedy and full recovery. And of course, our prayers include for all those who are celebrating their anniversaries today for their well-being and blissful Krishna consciousness. Please join me in the prayers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patithanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Over to Kirtan team.